Alrighty, welcome back. We are on episode number 11 of Divinity Original Sin Part 1, the Enhanced Edition. Last episode we wandered into the Sicil Marketplace and we encountered a fish thief and we resolved that quest. That was the fish thief, and we convinced him it's not in his nature to steal it. He somewhat disagreed, but he did not steal the fish. So, yeah, we got on the good side of the fish vendor. Then we looked at what happens if we tell our trio of sailors from the Shipless Sailors quest, if we tell Captain Jack that they are available for work, and we progress down there to see what happens. And when they are put to work by Captain Jack, we also saw on the fish vendor, the fish thief quest, what happens if we allow him to get caught. We followed him and he does end up in jail, which is kind of cool. So he could be in jail. So we'll head back up here now and finish off the marketplace.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Heavenly herring, delicious dogfish, yours for a scrap of gold each.
I feel, now, that's a sad story. Elegant homes burned for fuel, oaken cupboards emptied, and ladies dragging the dregs of their great skirts to bargain for fish bones.
Alright, here's needle, apple,
No better
and
solution to the zombie problem than a set of silver arrows.
What'll you have? I got white cheese, blue cheese, old cheese, new cheese.
Alright, cheese vendor. It's got a bit more than cheese. Alright,
Join the Spud Club if you've got an eye for farm potatoes.
vegetable vendor.
Here for your daily serving of veggies. Please partake of the plumpest produce ever produced.
Alright, so she also
Perhaps
sells
wrestling
cheese.
an earth elemental will inject some vim into your routine.
Alright, so
Heavenly herring, delicious dogfish, yours
and
for a scrap
Celia
of gold
the
each.
Enchantress.
Ah, gracious patron, I see your tired eyes looking a bit teary. I've just the potion for that. Or would you prefer a toasty fire spell to dry those vapours?
Okay, so Celia is also a vendor that can sell legendary items.
Let us
she
see if
has
you
some
can choose the finest greens.
Mushrooms, tea herbs, some
Heavenly herring,
resistance
delicious
potions, and
dogfish, yours for a
other
scrap
various
of gold
potions. Some scrolls. And then she sells arrow through spells and hydrosophist spells.
Fresh haddock, perfect for a fry-up.
She has repair hammer, an identifying glass, lockpicks, and trap.
Quiet day on the market, it seems.
Some various other items.
Red and orange, yellow and green, the finest veggies Sicil's ever seen.
Okay, so that's what we're looking for. We found
Let's
something that we
see.
want.
Halibut,
Some lucky charm on the
sheep's
boots.
cheese, tomatoes.
So we will try to buy this. And she
Let's
has other
see.
various
Halibut,
components for
sheep's
crafting.
cheese, tomatoes.
And arrowheads.
Delicious dogfish, yours for a scrap
Okay,
of gold each.
so we need
Not in the mood for
179.
cheese.
So I'm going to
Their
go ahead
excuse
and
is more
start
holes than
unloading
the
some of
size
this stuff
fine Coleman's apple.
that's useless to us. So we'll go ahead and get rid of painting. Traveling racers can go.
Aaron has as many
Sure,
friends
yeah.
as the man with many cheeses.
And she currently has that much. I just want to give enough to
Pay the big cheese on your block with
actually,
a
you know
wheel
what, we'll
of the
wait.
good
We'll
stuff.
go ahead and just pay for it outright, because I might be able to sell all of this for
Watch
more
the
money
undead
in a
quiver
bit.
in their mouldy boots.
So we'll go ahead and pay for this outright. The star represents the trader's attitude towards you.
Any
The higher the
takers?
attitude,
Come on,
the better
you
the prices.
chickens.
You can raise the trader's attitude by donating
Join the
items or
Spud Club
gold
if you've got an eye for
Okay,
farm
and we will do that.
potatoes.
at some point later. Alright, so let's take that off and go here. So we now have a Lucky Charm boots.
Be the big cheese on your block with
Those
a
are
wheel
traveling
of
boots.
the good stuff.
See if anybody else needs boots, traveling boots. Traveling boots are useless to everybody else, so that's that.
Any takers? Come on, you chickens!
Alright, so now if we look at our
Heavenly
Lucky Charm,
herring, delicious
and we
dogfish,
put on our...
yours for a scrap of gold
So
each.
now we are at where we want to be.
Not in the mood for cheese. That excuse has more
Okay.
holes than a slice of this fine almond bag.
Okay, so that's everybody in this general market area.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Alright, so we will head on out of here.
Be the big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Now we can head back and start looting. So we are heading back to the very beginning at Tranquil Beach and go all the way back to the very beginning of the game. And hopefully we get lucky with our rocks. So as I said, Lucky Charm at 5 lets you see the entire loot table that you can get. But anything past 5 now on Lucky Charm will grant you more percentage to see a proc of Lucky Charm. Alright, so this is our very first container right here. And I'm going to go ahead and make a hard save here. Alright, so when I put these on, verify that you have Lucky Charm 5 every time I put those on. Alright, so now we're going on. And the reason we get the helmet on here is now you can run around and see the world without having to see it under the ogler eyes. Fire arrow. Okay. Now we'll head into the dungeon. Alright, bone. Most organic matter can be turned to purposes dark or light. Use with caution. Okay, and you see it had a special effect, so let's go ahead and chomp on the bone. Bones increase armor by 6. And when you compare that to what leadership does for you when it gets up in level, so if you're looking at leadership for Medora when we get her up there, at level 4, at rank 4, you get plus 6 armor. So that armor actually, that buff from the bone is actually pretty good comparative to what you get with leadership. So it's not something to shake your head at. Alright, so... Okay. So now we can pick this lock as opposed to destroying this. And the loot, we get a rope, a length of sturdy rope, a mainstay in any traveler's pack. Send that to Jahan. Old wooden fire wand. It allows you to cast fireball. Requires intelligence of 5. A glowing wand wreathed in phantom flame. It rests warm in your hand, as if its core were made of glowing coals. Okay. Wands are a special type of weapon. In addition to their normal damage type, they also have a special skill attached. Look for the wand skill in the equipment tab of the skill panel. Equipping a wand will automatically assign the skill to your hotbar. Alright, so if we take a look at this, Roderick has 7 intelligence. Medora has 5. So if I give Medora this one, and we equip it, it puts the fireball down here. That's the skill. And if you look at the staff, okay, so it allows you to cast fireball, and the number of uses is 3 times. So there is that talent down here called Magician. Magician gives you 1 extra use of a wand skill. So if you had Magician, you would have a number of uses of 4. That's what that does. If you notice, look at the AP cost. So it costs 13 AP for Medora to cast this, so she can't do it. It's plus 6 cost because it's due to her low pyrokinetic skill. So I wanted to show you that because that's the difference between wands and scrolls. It's that the scrolls don't have that AP requirement where wands do. Alright. So also, we can pick this up now. Take a look at it. So empty, this one weighs 5 pounds when it's empty. Alright, so you can use these containers to hold various things. I'm going to give this to Jahan for now. And we'll put something in there. Let's see. I'll hold off and put something there. We'll just have it to have it for now. Alright, so moving on. Another fire arrow. Okay. So double check all around here. Okay. So we can move down here now. Patty Cake Volume 1. Blotched and stained book introducing the joys of cookery in the wild. Alright, so that's a lucky find when you see that happen, and it actually tells you Roderick got a lucky find. Slow down arrowhead. Enemies too fast for you. Combining this fine arrowhead with an arrow shaft will ensure that you won't be slow on the draw. Alright, so that's Jahan. So here is what we got for our lucky find. We have an unidentified aged robe. A loose-fitting, beautifully dyed robe allows for maximum freedom of movement and comfort. Its wearer can focus on mindful strategizing. So, if we take a look at that unidentified item, you found an unidentified item, identify it with an identifying glass or pay a merchant to do so for you. You or the merchant will need enough points in Lore Master to do so. Alright, so yeah. So right now, if we right click on it, we cannot identify it. Alright, so let's take a look at Patty Cake Volume 1. We'll read that. Patty Cake. What finer feeling can there be than when a group of rough and tumble adventurers gather around a fire to lose the chill and share tales of beasts slain, loves lost, and victory seized from the jaws of evil. Ah, perhaps when a cooking pot appears at the fire's heart, the promise of a thick stew or tender pie beckons from its iron depths. Alright, that did not give us a recipe, so we may already have the recipe that is associated with. So we'll go ahead and toss this into here. And that's that. Save and put on our log orders again. Empty. Carrot. A humble and steadfast vegetable. Effects unknown. So if we eat the carrot, -1 strength, +1 speed, +1 sight, plus 10% heals for 6 turns. Okay. Pumpkin. Effects unknown. A perfect orange globe of possibilities. Alright, let's check what that does.
A stitch in time, eh, friends?
Pumpkins. Heals for 15% for 6 turns. Okay. Some gold. Another lucky find. Thin gold cup. Useless, but pretty. Sell it. Alright, so got some sell. So 2 lucky finds. Nice. Alright. Alright. A knockdown arrow. Knock down a target and deals 14 to 22 crushing damage. 100% chance to set knockdown status for 1 turn. Saving throw bodybuilding. Knockdown makes the target unable to move or act. Damage dealt depends on your weapon's damage rating. A lead weight arrow that's almost too heavy to fire. Almost. Alright, so that's Scarlet. So now we'll see the interaction between the mine and our group. Let's see how they do with trying to get by this thing. And everybody got by it. Fine. Some bones here. Bones here. Got a boss here. Pick up a poison arrow. Can poison a target. Does 7 to 11 poison damage. I think we've seen that before, so we will go ahead and send that to Scarlet. Alright, and over here there should be a vase. There we go. Another lucky find. Not really all that lucky though. Old cloth bracers. So let's go ahead and combine this with that. I wonder if I can combine the unidentified version of the row. I wonder if that would screw it. So if I save this and try to combine the unidentified version. Valid combination. Okay. Good to know. Alright. Broken vases. Bone piles. Alright, moving on. Up here, I think we have the key for this one. Do. Water balloon creates a small water surface with a 4-meter radius, 100% chance to set wet status for 2 turns, 15 range, 4-meter explosives. So, you know, the best use of water balloons in this game is to throw them on yourself, your group, when you're on fire. Some more old cloth bracers. I don't think anybody needs the bracers, but let's check. 11. 7, 20. She might be able to deal with that. Let's combine this one with our chalice. Okay, give these to her. So, more durability. So, it is an upgrade. Alright, bone pile there, bone pile there. Bone. So now that we know it does armor, we're going to go ahead and give that to Madura. And I'm going to set her up with using that on this hotbar. Okay. Got some more bone piles over here. Picked up an old wooden earth wand. This one summons wolf. Encrusted with clumps of dirt, this staff wafts the scent of earth and loam. Alright. Oh. We can come over here and pick up this chest. Unlike the other chest, this one only weighs 1 pound. So that's useful to know. So I'll give that to Jahan for now. And while we're here, let's try to combine this arrowhead. And he can make a slow down arrow. So slow down arrow head and arrow shaft for a slow down arrow. Alright. Send that to Scarlet. And then we will move on. Alright, boss. Take a look at that. Broken. Thing over here. This way. Nothing. Boss, okay. Picked up Fun with Fluids Volume 5. This moralizing pamphlet was clearly written by a teetotaler who never had to hike 12 hours in wet boots just to make camp. Teetotaler. Teetotaler? I don't know how to pronounce that. Teetotaler? Teetotaler? I believe that means, though, it's that's someone that either looks down upon people that drink alcohol or abstains from alcohol use. I think that's what that means. Alright, smokescreen arrowhead, the Calavian arrowhead, notched in the traditional manner and steeped in an enigmatic potion designed for those who operate using deceit and obfuscation. Send that to Jahan. Let's take a look at our book here. Fun with Fluids. Alcohol makes the dedicated warrior slow and clumsy, while a nice herbal tea only enhances one's best qualities. Fanny Blossom produces a smooth-tasting brew sure to bring out the best in its drinkers. Okay. Large speed potion. Alright. Let's put that there. Large speed potion. So if we go to Jahan, let's check out recipes. Okay, so that's the speed potion. And then, okay. So we can't craft it yet. Alright. Vase indeed. Got some vases here. Oh, lucky find. So we got a bigger pile of gold for that lucky find. Got the King's Tomb here. Old parchment. Let's take a look at that. Gravekeeper Ragequin. Tend the graves in the antechamber before moving into the inner rooms. To proceed, stand very close to the impressed door and press the button that appears on its right-hand side. So that was just showing us that secret passage that we already found. Let's do that here. Okay. Got some bone pile here. Potato. Cook it, cut it, eat it, love it. Potato. Give that a taste. +1 constitution, -1 speed, plus 10% heals for 6 turns. Okay. Another bone pile here. Alright, bone pile. Alright, looks like all the... That's that part up here. Anything over here? Yes, we got one here. Take that. Looks like we got one here. And we have another one here. A rat's tail. I think we've already seen this. The lifeless worm-like tail is stiff and hard. The animal's spirit has long fled this world. Goes to Jahan. Wow. Okay, broken boss. Chest.
Fasten tighter than the treasury.
And let's go ahead and pick that lock. Okay. picked up an aged robe and a poison flask. Creates a small ooze surface with a 1 meter radius, 15 range. Alright, let's do this, and this. Combine this with our golden rail. Good. Then open up our backpack for bombs and set up this here. We'll set the poison flask down this way. Okay. Bombs. Alright, so it looks like we're done with this chamber. Okay. Up this way. Those are broken. Cloth scraps. Where the layman sees simple scraps, the crafty eye foresees all manner of handy garments. Send that to Jihad. Another rat's tail. Oil flask creates a small oil puddle with a 1 meter radius at 15-minute range to throw it. Leather scraps, rich smelling and simple, these leather pieces could be made into fine garments by the right craftsman, which will eventually be Jahan. He can be the right craftsman for us. So let's go ahead and do this. Put our flask here and stick the oil flask down here. On. That fire never stopped. Vase. Vase, there's vase. Alright, let's go ahead and separate these guys. Don't want them getting too close to that trap. Okay. Ornate key, an old key. Now to find what it can unlock. Old cloth bracers and a smoke grenade. Okay. So toss this key in here. Go ahead and toss a smoke grenade over here. Stick that there. Alright. Some bones there. Nothing. Pick everybody up. Let's roll. Alright, head down this way. Some broken vases here. Okay. Fire arrow. Metal temple door key. And we already. Now notice I cannot pick this one up because I don't have enough strength. Okay. Combine that with. find. I guess I don't know which one would be the lucky find on this. Starfish. The coastal tribes in the north weave the skin of adult starfish into armor. Sounds challenging. Alright. Always an arrow. Okay, found a bow. Alright. Let's identify that at some point later. Bottle of beer, effects unknown, brewed to perfection in one of Rivlon's oldest monasteries. Alright, so if we take a look at this bottle of beer and consume it. -1 intelligence, 5% heals, 60% chance to set drunk status for 2 turns, and drunk status is on now. So it's a good time to loot. You gotta increase lucky charm by 2 when I was doing that. Send that to Jahan. Unfortunately, it didn't trigger. Lucky charm. Alright. That's good. Alright, knock down arrows. Send that to Scarlet. Some more old cloth bracers. Find that. So, we do that. Her, open up her, and we have knockdown arrows and slowdown arrows. Okay. Okay. Got all those. Excellent. Save this. Moving on. Broken. 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 Not broken. Bone pile. Got bones. 2 Ventura. Okay. Broken. Here's an attack class. Alright, poison arrows. Scarlet. Broken. Bone pile. Alright, a skull. Alas, poor soul. Better that you didn't know him. Alright, send that to Jahan. Broken vase. Those are broken. Bone pile. Another bone pile. Broken. Okay. Here. This way. These are all broken. Okay. There's one. Alright, we do have to reopen this. There. Broken. I wonder if they have anything to say about these graves. Let's check it out.
Here lies Master Ragequin's first apprentice, killed by a falling corpse.
Okay, probably not. Okay.
Here lies Master Ragequin's second apprentice, killed by dying.
Alright, I was hoping maybe Jahan or Medora would say something about that. That would have been cool if you go backwards and they actually do have things to say. Because that's such something most people won't go back and do something like this. So it would be cool to reward people that are that curious about the game, to have some kind of unique dialogues associated with going backwards. Alright, so now we're going to move on and try to find some more stuff that we left behind on the beach. I don't think there's anything over here. That's where Ishmael was. Okay, so this way. There's some crates there. Hello. These are there are feathers inside. Okay. So the Jahan. Left this chest there for us to pick up, so let's check that out. Alright, penny bun mushroom, effects unknown. Antique plate armor, alright. Requires 5 strength. Thin yet tough, this chest plate is inlaid with a winged motif meant to hearken to the gods associated with the swiftness and unpredictability of wind. Okay. Let's go ahead and eat penny bun mushroom. Okay, heals 15% for 3 turns. Speaking of mushrooms, did we ever check that one out? We did. Okay.
What in the seven's name happened here?
So we can equip this antique armor. And let's see if this is better for either of these. So that is definitely better than his armor. So we're going to go ahead and stick his armor out of the way, because I don't want to sell it and keep his unique stuff. Alright, so we've got some armor. In fact, let's take our armor off and try to combine it.
What beast could have slaughtered these men?
Alright, improved metal armor. Alright, so golden chalice, metal armor. Improved metal armor. Excellent. Alright, moving on. Water arrow. Puts out fires or deals 7 to 11 water damage. 100% chance to set wet status for 2 turns. The wet status makes targets less resistant to air spells, but more resistant to fire spells. Can target terrain to create a water surface or douse fires. Damage dealt depends on your weapon's damage rating. The artistry is all in the cunning way you affix the flask of water to the arrow, or so you've been told. Alright, so send that to Scarlet. I'm gonna check out Scarlet. Alright, stick that there. Like so. Good, good. Moving on. Alright. Alright, cup of water and flour. Let's go ahead and get past this guy and look at those.
What in the seven's name happened here?
Penny bun mushroom. Old wooden air staff. Whittled from Lacunian timber and wound with bright silken ribbon, this versatile staff is as well crafted as it is powerful. Okay. Alright, so let's take a look at flour. Made of wheat grown in the Rivellonian grain belt, this finely milled flour is a primary ingredient in a variety of local delicacies. So that Jahan, cup of water, effect unknown. Just a thing for that dry spot at the back of your throat, or to soak something interesting. So if we hit consume on that, cup of water, 5% heals for 3 turns. Okay. So, interesting that I don't get an empty cup. I thought I would get an empty cup. I wonder why I don't have an empty cup. Send this dagger to Jahan. So, I wonder why there isn't an empty cup. That's interesting. I thought that it would do that. Alright, let's go to Jahan here. Hit save for a second. If I combine this dagger with this pillow, there we go. We create a feather. Who knows what heights this weather-beaten feather has seen? Perhaps hidden corners of Rivellon no human has ever breached. Okay. So we know that if we combine a dagger and a branch, we get a spear, so we don't want to do that. But if we look here, objects. Now can make a feather out of a pillow, any dagger. Alright. Put it on. Out of curiosity, let's see. I can combine it with. If I try to combine that with a cup, what happens? Alright. Yeah. Okay, water balloons. So, hit sticker water balloons over here. And moving up here. Alright, a bow and a short sword, forged with passion and tempered with precision. What happens to this sword next is up to you.
One day, comrade, vengeance will be ours.
So currently I don't have backstabbing on Roderick, so I don't have to have 2 knives, and I may not even need 2 knives to begin with. But we can probably put this short sword here. That will be an improvement on this knife. Give this knife now to Jahan, and I think now that I have a knife, if I combine the knife with a branch, that creates arrow shafts. If you combine the dagger, you get the spear. So, as far as this goes, the knife and the dagger are separate types of tools. So let's arrow shaft and a smokescreen arrowhead. And create a smokescreen arrow. So smokescreen arrowhead, arrow shaft, smokescreen arrow. Send that to Scarlet, and I think it's better to put the tools here that way. Okay. Broad skull. Alright, so Scarlet has now a smoke screen arrow.
Vengeance will be ours.
That. And that. Now we can go down and loot all the battlefield.
Filthy beasts! I'll kill the last one of you!
Alright, Malachite. This forest green gem is all the rage amongst the nobility. Sell it to a knowledgeable vendor and reap a fantastic reward. I don't believe that you can combine malachite with anything in this game. I think that is actually a loot item. I'll verify that later on, but I'm pretty sure that one is something that's not used in crafting. Whereas the pearls, they are used in crafting. We missed a shell. Okay, pick that shell up. It's already empty.
I like you much better with your guts on the floor.
Alright.
Filthy beasts, I'll kill the last one of you.
Alright. That orc ship.
Day labour's more suited to my nature anyhow.
Yes, honest pay for an honest day.
Alright, we have a two-handed practice sword, an unidentified sharp fighting knife, a cutthroat switchblade, dark as the traditional garb of the Calavian assassins. It can be used for backstabbing, obviously. Right. A poison flask. Okay. Alright.
Bringing your little orchid girlfriend here is like bringing a wolf to a hen house.
I said to him, I said myself, if I don't start earning an extra gold piece an hour, I'll walk out the door.
Fish affects
Good on you.
It smells
These
like hell,
boss men
but it
respect
tastes like
competence, you know.
not starving
So
to
what do they
death.
say?
Well, what does it matter? Day labour's more suited to my nature anyhow.
Yes, honest pay for an honest day.
Jahan. Chub fish.
Into the fray once more.
+1 intelligence, -1 speed, 10% heals, for 6 turns. Alright. So all these items will have to come back for later. Once we get Walk in Shadows, we'll be able to steal those. Steam Cloud Arrowhead. Although it hisses louder than a Caladian steam bath, combining this arrowhead with an arrow shaft will make it a powerful projectile. Alright, so back to Jahan. Water balloon. Firestorm Grenade. This harmless looking bottle deals 12 to 19 fire damage in a 4-meter radius. 100% chance to set burning status for 3 turns. With the body building saving throw, 15 range, and 4-meter explosive. This grenade here will be basically the bread and butter of our grenader build. We'll be crafting a lot of those. So that will be one of our main attacks. There. So that. Save. Let's see, got all these crates. Alright.
I wouldn't let it all within 500 yards of my loving nature.
Psst! Ever hear about the time the captain took the Duchess of Federal's carriage for a joyride?
Ha! Knowing him, he drove it straight to the pub and back.
Alright, we're going to get Medora up here.
Oh, and don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the Lizard Councillor's wife.
Is that why we never sail to Yuthel Gore anymore?
Alright, we just need to shut them up. Alright. Alright, so we have a lucky find. We found a rain scroll. And we found a herring, effects unknown.
Oh, nothing
Is it
new,
just
sir.
you, or is it
Zombies,
the eye?
skeletons, you know the story.
Or is its eye following you? Okay. Let's take a gander here. Consume this one. 1 intelligence, -1 speed, 10% heals, and duration 6 turns. We have another rain scroll. Let's see, do we have any of those scrolls on our bar? Yeah. Let's go ahead and give our rain scrolls to Jahan. Let's have him be the rain giver. And where do we want to put that at? Let's go ahead and put those here for now. Let's see if we can combine this. Okay, we can, but it's a potential, so we need more skill for that.
Is that bird?
Okay.
Yes,
so you see
sir.
here there's a
As
chest
fine a
and some things, but we
specimen
can't
as
get
one of
across
their
this line.
stocks, sir.
Really?
The greatest warriors in Rivellon can't cross a rope.
Okay, so we will be able to get there later on. There is a mechanic that gets us there. Okay. Struck out here.
Sailor, what news from the mainland?
Oh, nothing new, sir. Zombies, skeletons, you know the story.
Or the refined oniophile. Effects unknown. Okay, we'll take that. Pop this off. And we'll pop the wine here once we get towards another pack of barrels.
Speaking of youthful gore, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that orky charm loves him.
I wouldn't let it out within 500 yards of my loving nature.
Okay, those two. And that incessant chat, they're just... Alright, so these we can take.
Slimy, reeking, rotting sea garbage.
Left to find. Found us some potatoes. Send that to Jahan. Found a leather armor. A set of fortified leather braces enhanced by protective touches of battered metal steels. The wearer from thieves and assailants. You know, that sentence would be very...
Plenty of fish in the sea,
much
but
improved
I've
with
got
a...
the foulest of the lot on my racks.
Comma. Wheat. Okay. Grown in the Rivellonian wheat grain belt, this wheat smells like the warm, earthly ground that grew it. Can be ground into a fine, high-quality flour. Okay, send that to you. Another water arrow.
Size sail, shiver me timbers and sliver me heels.
Another lucky find. Excellent. Designed to facilitate travel, these boots closely hug the wearer's feet. Okay.
Slimy,
Size sail,
rotting
shiver me
sea
timbers and
garbage.
sliver me heels.
Another trap disarm toolkit. Herring and chubfish.
Size sail, shiver me timbers and sliver me heels.
I can't even smell the sea air over this rot.
Mackerel, effects unknown. It seems to cry out to be made into Sicilian pie. Okay. Let's go ahead and give that a...
As good as a new penny.
+1 intelligence, -1 speed, 10% heals for 6 turns. Okay, let's...
Slimy, reeking, rotting sea garbage.
Let's head in here. All of these are going to be something you have to steal. We'll deal with that at another point in time.
Salutations! Source hunters, I see. I'm Sergeant Curtius, proud protector of this house of Legion goods.
Alright, has he updated his inventory? Looks like he has a little bit. Nothing really impressive though, so we will move on. Alright.
To my nature anyhow.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead down this way.
I can't even smell the sea air over
Red
this
snapper.
rot.
A healthy specimen fresh caught from the seas around Sicile and mackerel. Red snapper, huh? Let's go ahead and combine that. +1 intelligence, -1 speed, +2% heals for 6 turns. Let's send the mackerel to him. Alright, let's jump on. To a grenade maker, fuses are an abundant pleasure. Fuses to be bought, fuses to be found, a whole world of fuses. Of course, the really fun part is lighting them, so we will definitely be making use of fuses. That's one part of the firestorm grenade that we're going to be able to create. Okay. Lots of ingredients. Okay, a mug of water. Effects unknown. A hydrated adventurer is a happy adventurer. Okay. So let's get over here. We're ready to do this. Let's see. So, a mug of water. Combine.
As good as a new penny.
Heals 5% for 3 turns. Alright, mug of wine. Consume. -1 speed, 5%. Heals 20% chance to set the drunk status for 2 turns, but it did not, so. Alright, moving on. Some cheese.
Size sail, shiver me timbers and sliver me heels.
Alright, pumpkin. So send that to John. We've already consumed the pumpkin. Save this. Let's see something here. If I take... Let's say I take a hammer to a pumpkin, what happens? Nothing. What happens if I take a knife to a pumpkin? We create a pumpkin helmet. 14 armor rating, 10% fire resistance, 5% chance to set fear status for 1 turn. Okay, that's actually not bad. Let's check out Scarlet's helmet. Does she have a helmet? Yeah, so, with every arrow, maybe she can, and maybe that'll work with Ricochet. Alright, so we'll give her that. Toss this old cloth cap to Jahan. Alright. And yeah, made a pumpkin helm. That's cool. And you can see she's got the pumpkin helm on, and he's got the pot helm. All right, not bad.
Size sail, shiver me timbers and sliver me heels.
Mug of water. Send that to Jahan. Looks like everything. So Jahan, let's combine that and that. And send that to Scarlet. So if we take this mug of water and combine it with the flour. Alright. So we have an empty mug now. Where's a trusty tap when you need one? So send this to Roderick. We created dough. Effects unknown. Like a newborn babe, this dough's potential is as vast as the imagination itself. Let's go ahead and consume that. So the dough gives us -1 speed and 5% heals. Okay. Alright. So let's take it off from here. We've got some fishing poles. We have a white fishing pole, a yellow fishing pole, a green fishing pole. And hey, there's Pablo. Alright, let's talk to Pablo. We haven't talked to him yet.
Yes? I've work to do, so please be brief.
Pablo has 69 gold. How about that?
I
burning
thought
ship?
the old gal's fate was sealed when the Orc shaman set his fiery gaze on her sails. But you managed to rescue her from a watery grave. Closest thing to a miracle I've ever seen.
Alright, so a comment about Pablo. He wanders around a lot, and he can be found in different areas outside of Sicil, and he can die. I don't know why they made it that way, but he can get around. Alright, so let's go here. Basket. Ah, good. We picked up an identifying glass. Peer through this closely to analyze and classify equipment. It's as good as the skill of the one who holds it. Okay, and unfortunately, identifying glass. You found an identifying glass. If your lore master's ability is high enough, you'll be able to identify items. Press right mouse button on the unidentified item and select identify. Alright, so I don't think we can do it on anybody. So if I right click on that, it does not come up. So if we look at our personnel, our craftsmanship, lore master 0, 0, 0, and 0. So no one has it yet. Okay. Poison flask. A butter knife can be used for backstabbing. Again, all knives are usable. And you don't want to craft every single knife into a dagger as soon as you can, because you want to have some of those available to you later on when you level up, so that you can craft them into better daggers. Alright, some baskets here. Frost grenade. This grenade unleashes a chemical reaction that does 6 to 9 water damage at 4-meter radius and can freeze all in range. 50% chance to set the frozen status for 2 turns. Bodybuilding savings throw 15 meters, 4-meter explosion range. Okay, and yeah, we know what frozen does now. Okay, so do that. Open up our main pouch and toss our frozen right there. Down here. Alright, and moving on. Basket. Okay. Head down here. Some rope. Length of sturdy rope. A mainstay in any traveler's pack. Send that to Jahan. Let's take a look at Jahan. Is that our second rope? It is. So if we take this rope and split it, craft, take a rope to a rope, combine, it creates a fuse. Objects, feather, fuse. Goes under grenades, so rope plus a rope gets you a fuse. Alright, back to him. Lucky find, another water arrow. Alright, if you look here, we have a water barrel we hit combine with. And we picked up that empty mug. And that. We can create a mug of water. Not sure what that puts it under. There it is, mug of water. Empty mug plus a water barrel gives you a mug of water. Send this to Jahan, see if we can do anything with that now. Don't think I can combine that with anything at this point. Let's try the potato. Combine the mug of water with a potato. Nope. Okay. Moving on. Silver ore. In this primitive state, the ore is little more than dead weight, but when wetted with a white-hot furnace, and that's 10 pounds. See that? 10 pounds. Tusk. Find trophy to commemorate the slaughter of an innocent beast.
Oh, nothing new, sir.
Alright, so... There we go. So that's this part of Sicil. So we're going to go ahead and end this episode here. Next episode, we're going to go out these doors, start collecting some things off the ground, and then head back up. And start looting everything around Sicil up there by the market if we can. And yeah, once we get Walk in Shadows, which is a scoundrel ability, I'll be able to pick everything up with Roderick. And if you can see right now, Roderick has Scoundrel, but he doesn't have an ability in Scoundrel to pick it up, so we'll go ahead and buy one of those when we can. Alright, we'll see you on the next episode. Later, guys.